Another chapter, another bit of Celine being the actual best character in this manga. I don't know what it is at this point. She's just so entertaining. The way she revels in all of the mayhem she causes. Like, there's nothing better than a villain who's just like, yeah, I'm being a villain. I don't care. I'm loving it. Because the whole reasoning behind why she brought in Laxus and Gajeel is exactly what a lot of people were thinking. Numbers. It was purely numbers. Not acknowledging Happy, Lily, and Carla. With this, you have the 7 members of the Diablos Guild, and you have 7 members from Fairy Tail. She's literally going after battle stats, and she's just like, I'll bring in the 2 Dragon Slayers I can find. The easiest to locate, because they're both in Fairy Tail. It's just like, dang, Celine, you really just don't give a fuck, do you? I'm all for it. I am just all for it. And she lets him know, yeah, I'm now in charge of the Diablos Guild. And it's just as absurd as you think it would sound. It's just like a dragon taking a dragon eating guild over? What? And yes, the exposition from last chapter revealed that Elfin Sarah's living heart that exists without his body that was taken by the earth dragon god Dogramag. I think that's how you say the name. It's still within the labyrinth, it's still alive, and Celine even says that it has been supercharged because of the corpse of Dramaga. I swear I say the dude's voice different, say the dude's name differently every single time, whatever. But apparently, the heart containing Elfin Sarah's law dragon abilities for knowledge has just bolstered its power beyond Elfin Sarah's own power. Makes me wonder if he was able to recover his heart and place it back within him, if that would give him an actual power boost. Now, does all of this sound very contrived and weird and kind of silly? Yeah, of course. But at the same time, it feels like an RPG quest. Like, I mean, come on. You got your party together, going in a labyrinth that's ever-changing and nigh impenetrable, with various different people having gone in previously and never making it quite to the end. And there's this highly powerful artifact within that's the still beating heart of a dragon that was ripped out by this one dragon whose corpse lies at the bottom of the labyrinth, but his corpse has so much overflowing power that it is the source of the labyrinth, which is ever growing, and it's given power to the heart of his enemies, and that power has imbued it with enough knowledge that you would know everything in all of existence. It's so silly, and I love it. I love it. And Celine, bless this dragon lady, is just like, okay, so Elfin Sarah, I need you not to, do a suicide, so I'm gonna just put you like in another dimension. So she just poofs his ass someplace else. Just with one finger, just poof, he's gone. And I love the crow friend of Elfin Sarah. He's just freaking the hell out. Like, dude, what the hell? Seriously, Celine's transportation abilities are just so hard to counter. It's just all of a sudden you're just someplace else. It doesn't matter what you think, want, do, you're just someplace else now. And I just love how at a loss Laxus and Gajeel are in all of this, and Panther Lily, they're just like, what is going on? Because they're not in the know about any of this. They weren't supposed to have any information because it's just like, this is a mission that was about secrecy. Having the information relayed to them would kind of nullify the terms of the quest that Elf and Sarah put out for the Fairy Tale Guild. And she just lays down the rules for them. It's just like, okay, it's a 7-on-7 battle. First team to find the heart is the winner. Good luck, have fun. Get your juice boxes and head off. Like, she's just enjoying all of this. And even Natsu, once he hears about what's going down, is actually kind of interested. It's just like, oh, this sounds actually pretty fun. And she lets him know that she won't be participating. It's just like, I'm just kind of here to watch. It's funny too, because later, even once she sends all of them in, she asks the crow, hey, do you want to, like, get a drink or something and watch while everything goes down? Like, she's just in it for shits and giggles, and I'm all for that. And even when Urza's just like, why don't we just throw down right here and now? She's just like, no, well, go and get the heart, and I'll take you on any time. And ultimately, she lays it out. It's just like, whether you win, or you lose, or you all die, I'm still gonna get the heart. This is all just a formality for me. And I don't know, her way of doing things is just so much more interesting than a lot of other fairy tale villains up until this point. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had some pretty fun villains. Like when Jalal was a villain, that was one of the better ones. Master Hades was pretty interesting. And of course, Zareth and all that. They were fairly interesting, but some of the best were, hell, Irene. Like, Irene was a very fascinating villain, and Celine just has that big badass bitch boss energy that just makes all of this fun. It's just like, whether you win or lose, I win in the end, so it is what it is. So the rules are simple. Take the heart, escape. The entrance will be blocked until one side is completely wiped out. So until all 7 from any given side is completely done in, there will be no escape. And you can't destroy the heart. You try anything and I will stop you. So I've let the Diablos Guild know the rules. They're already inside, so I'm gonna just transport you in. Have fun. Good luck. And Celine just creates a viewing portal just to have fun once again. It's just like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, like, I'm really digging this. And the downside to all of this is that if Celine gets taken out, I don't know if the other 2 dragon gods are going to be this fun. Like, seriously. I mean, we've seen dragons' essences kind of live after death, so I do have a bit of a feeling that, to some degree, we'll get to know Dogramag. And, I mean, up until now, a lot of the dragons have been pretty capable and interesting. Like, Mercuphobia was interesting, Alderaan was pretty interesting, and Ignia, I'm interested enough where we go with him, especially how we're going to take him down. But, yeah, I'm wondering, like, will Vernus be interesting too? And, with Ignia, it feels like it'll just be a straight-up fight. And I'm still kind of wondering, like, with Celine being the moon dragon god, she ended up having the ability of creating portals wherever she wanted. Not really something I would associate with the moon specifically. So I'm still wondering, what is Vernus's ability? The gold dragon god, like, what gold? What does that mean? And as of now, it was pointed out to me by a friend that the various dragon gods are based off of something from Japanese culture known as the 7 Lumerities, which are planets that, at least I think, heavenly bodies or something, that the Japanese use to name days of the week. So you have Monday, which is Moon Day, and that is Celine. Tuesday, which is Fire Day, and that would be Ignia. Wednesday, which is Water Day, Mercuphobia. Thursday, Wood Day, Alderaan. Friday, Gold Day, which is Vernus. Saturday, which is Earth Day, which is Dogramag, which means that there is potentially even a 7th dragon, which would be the dragon of Sunday, which is Sunday. Like, sun, the sun, and day. Which you think would just be similar to Fire Day, but apparently not. So it leaves me kind of wondering, like, okay, who is the dragon of the sun then? Is it alluding to Natsu, will he become known as the Dragon of the Sun once this is all over? Or is there some other dragon out there who will become known as the Dragon of the Sun? The Sun Dragon God, basically. But everybody's sent into the labyrinth, and unfortunately, Celine just kind of sent them in haphazardly. It's pretty apparent because Gajeel ends up with Carla, and that's about it, which that's an interesting pairing. And so Panther Lily ends up with Wendy, which is kind of cute in and of itself. Urza ends up with Gray, and they have a cute little moment where Urza is determined to stick together, and she even says, "Why don't we hold hands like in the old days, like when they were children?" That's pretty cute. And of course, Happy and Natsu are still together, but of course, it wouldn't be fairy tale unless something bad happened to Lucy, and much like a lot of jokes when it comes to teleportation, she ends up inside of a wall. Now, thankfully, it's not a gruesome situation. She's just kind of stuck in it. And chuckles are had. It's a really silly situation. And the real downside is not just the fact that Happy and Nasu just end up giggling at her the entire time and her misfortune. It's the fact that the walls of the labyrinth are too tough. Like, not even Natsu can break these walls. Honestly, the Fairy Tale Guild might as well be made of these walls, just as a way of stopping Natsu from going on his rampages and destroying everything. But yeah, if it was that easy to break these walls, it wouldn't be a labyrinth, basically. And this is kind of iterated by Haku, the white tiger dragon who, is the first to encounter a member of the Fairy Tale Guild. So I'm actually kind of interested because Haku, is this small, smiling looking little kid. It's very fascinating. And he even goes up to try to help him out. It's just like, I'll get her out of the wall, and transforms Lucy into a doll. Which, again, it wouldn't be fairy tale if misfortune did not befall Lucy. And it raises the question, like, how do you counter this ability? Like, Haku just turned Lucy into a doll with a snap of his wrist. Just boom, doll. So how do you fight that? Will they even fight that? I mean, Haku seems to be the most reasonable of the four Diablos dragons, but there's never a guarantee with something like that. And just because he's a kid, pretty much means that he's not going to be a slouch in combat. Honestly, I was thinking that Haku was going to end up fighting against Wendy, but considering there's no specific way that the matchups need to go, specifically that, you have to defeat all of the other guild in order to win, I guess this is pretty much the preliminary matchup. And the unfortunate part is, in another world, Haku would have been Lucy's opponent. And here, I think Haku will just be Natsu's opponent, just so that Natsu can have a fight at the beginning, and then he'll take on the very last member of the Diablos Guild towards the end. And that's how that'll work out. Natsu basically takes over what should have been Lucy's fight, which is really unfortunate. It's the one continued thing from Fairy Tale that is the one downside of the 100 Years Quest, and that's that Lucy very rarely gets a good win in a fight. Just very rarely. Not saying that it's a deal breaker for me. 100 Years Quest has been a fantastic storyline. I've been having a really good time with it up until now, and I probably will continue to have a good time with it because it's been a very well written story. It's just one of those things that I should probably just be used to by now, but you still have hope beyond hope that one day Mashima will take Lucy's character in a direction that he can actually be a little bit more proud of than what we've seen. Like, I was so happy when she got the star dress and her whip and everything, and it seemed like maybe she was going to be the most capable version of Lucy we'd ever seen, but I keep expecting something to pay off with the Celestial Spirit King, but that has yet to happen, so we'll just have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this direction, definitely let me know what your thoughts are, what matchups you're expecting to see, who you're the most excited to see going forward. I'm really interested to hear from you. But until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.